Good morning world. It is the day I've been putting off because it's financially quite tough. It's van kitting day. So we're both here, we're at ITS now. And I've been presented with a catalogue because that's the thing, you don't really think about these bits when you buy. I mean, I knew I had to sort of kit the second van out, but like when you've got a second van, you've got to kit it full of basically the same stuff that the first van had. Otherwise there's no point, because it just negates the object of you having a second van when you haven't got anything in it. So I've been putting this day off because it's just basically expensive. So as soon as I'm done, I'll send it inside to get processed, and then we can go and pick it all up. For anybody who doesn't know, the Ficky Twin Flex head removal tool perfectly fits the large McDonald's fries holder, so you can actually use it as a fries holder. Works perfectly every time. My shopping list is coming along quite nicely. I think I'm up to about 3,000 quid at the moment, so it's starting to get a little scary. That's why I've been putting this off, because it just costs. The cost of this is so expensive, but what can you do? You need the tools, otherwise Dave can't work effectively when he gets to a job, so you've just got to spend the money. It's just one of those things. But yeah, I'd be lying if I said my arse isn't twitching a little bit over this. All right, I've just submitted my order. It's just gone in for a vetting process, because I didn't know, and it's stuff you don't think about. When you place like a really big order, it has to go, or if there's just lots and lots of items in an order, it has to go through a vetting process first. So it got stopped on that vetting process, so they've had to sort of manually override it. It's now gone to picking. But this here's the warehouse. It's a big old gaff, isn't it? Properly big place. I'll show you, we'll go upstairs to the top of the stairs and I'll show you the whole warehouse. It's a big place. This is what I was on about. This is the size of this operation. It is impressive. I find this sort of stuff super interesting, just like how businesses operate and stuff. I mean, I won't go into it now, but even like the bit where when you put an order in on a basket, the process in that office of just getting it from a computer transaction to the pickers down over there is just, I mean, that literally is a video in itself, how interesting that is. But I haven't got time for that today. That'll be another video another time. But interesting setup here. That's Matthew. He's the man I have to be nice to in the pink thingy. All right, I've actually just managed to grab Matt for 5 minutes just away from what he was doing a second ago, just to show us around here, because I just want Matt to explain a little bit about how this process works, because it's so interesting how the picking and packing, the sorting, how that side of it all works. So I'm just going to hand you over to Matt and he can just talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, cool, cheers Tom. Well, this is just essentially the goods out area of the warehouse. So this is where all the orders that are placed online or over the phone actually get sent to the customer. So as you can see over there, the boxes are moving down and they will end up in a DPD lorry at the end of the warehouse. And that's pretty much how it happens after the pick and pack. So after it's picked, it comes over here, makes its way down and ends up on the lorry. So next we're just going to pick up, you've got the Bosch circular saw. This location on the picking note, you can see it's in D34, right. 16D01. So all of our rows, aisles are numbered. So we just need to go down to D34, which is just here. And all the locations then have got their own number as well. So you can see that D34, 16D01 is here. So the first thing we do is we scan the location, pick up the product, scan the product, and that's yours.
Does nobody else find that insanely interesting? How many items do you even have here at one time? I mean, you've got like literally thousands here of just different...
It's hundreds. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but it's a lot. We've got 20,000 SKUs, of which we've got plenty of stock of each, so times that by at least 10.
And as you grow, you can, like I was saying earlier, isn't it? You can just literally just keep building these racks up and up.
Yeah, so these racks we're only using half at the moment, so we can build up and then even on top of that. And over here we have the large bulk storage, which is where you keep your cement mixers and lawnmowers and things like that.
I noticed you had a load of wheelbarrows up there, actually, got hundreds of them. How does stuff work like slow and fast moving picks? So like, how does all that side of it work? You've got so many products here. How do you differentiate between, like, do you know what I mean? Like just the slow, all that sort of side of it?
Yeah, well, that's a really good question. So in these bays here, we just sort of have our standard products, the stuff that sells consistently and our mainstays. Now, all the stuff that, as you say, sells a lot quicker, like for example the Stanley Bostons and the 10.8 volt DeWalt, these are actually in the middle here. So our pickers don't have to come into these bays, they can just come down here with their trolley and grab it off the
So this entire aisle, this is all like super fast moving.
It's the really popular stuff. So you've got your DeWalt new sander, which we've got in stock, the Makita plunge saw there. It's all the Stanley Bostons, the Makita radio, the really sort of popular items will stay in the middle, and it just means it's a lot quicker for our warehouse guys to come and pick it. That's all it is.
And how fast does this stuff actually shift? I mean, like all this, I mean, you've got literally just here, I mean, you've got thousands and thousands of items. I mean, just...
So yeah, this will shift down pretty quickly, and when it goes, we'll just replace it with a new pallet. Yeah, cool. So after it will come out of the fast pick, or wherever the guys picked it, it will end up here. And these are all the customer orders that are waiting to go out. So as you can see, there's a load of orders here that are waiting to be packed. They'll then be packed, it will go down the conveyor belt and end up on the DPD lorry.
All right, so we're basically more or less back where we started, and this is where all the finished products are, and they're ready to go out on the lorry, I guess. Ready for 7 a.m. the next day.
Ready for 7 a.m. the next day.
All right, that was not, I've been putting that off. I've been putting that off for a little while, but there it is. That's what I need to kit both of them. So I've divided them into two. So Dave's got one, I've got the other. And we just got to try to figure out the best way to fit it all in now. Actually, talking of which, do you remember a couple of months back I had that little lock-up? Doesn't matter how well, it's a fair point actually, it doesn't matter how well you armorise your van, if they really want it, they'll still get into it, they'll never get around it. So I've ended up, I actually thought the cheapest way of doing it was just, I rented a small little unit, and we just carry what we need. So most of this will end up, not all of it, I mean stuff like this will end up just staying on the van, the sundries and bits, all of that stays, but like the Bosch stuff and all that side of it, we just carry every day, we just go to the container, we just pick up what we need, and you just do it that way. So at the end of the day, it is more of a faff, wasn't it Dave? We're talking about it. It's more of a faff because we have to drive back to the unit every day, but it's
safer.
I can't think of another way of doing it. You can't leave it on the van because
they'll take the van.
Yeah, they'll just take the van. They'll just get towed. So we just have a unit, and every day we just have to, or every 2 days, we just have to, you know, you get the drill. It's 30 degrees, I'm not thinking straight. I was low on socks. I mean, I know that's quite nice stuff, but I actually care more about my socks at the moment because I had to wear yesterday's because I haven't washed any. I'm not going to lie, I mean, I can feel people sort of watching this thinking, you know, fuck me, you must be rolling in it, blah, blah, blah. Believe me when I tell you I'm not, you know. This operation, truth be told, scares the shit out of me. But I'm a firm believer. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to do so, fucking aim high, you know. There's nothing wrong in failing. If you aim high and miss, that's okay. It's a big way to go. If you aim high and miss, it's fine. If you aim low and hit, well, that's not really very good. You can push yourself better than that. And if this whole operation fails, then it fails, you know, you just pick yourself up and you start again because that's what matters, you know. And you've got to take a fucking risk. If you don't take a risk, you won't fucking get anywhere in this world, and that is the reality of it, you know. But don't think it's like I've got endless amounts of money. I haven't. My bank account is fucking squeaking. But what you do, you know, you just take a risk, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it doesn't, you just pick yourself up and you just fucking carry on again. You know, that's just how it is. If I had to listen to the amount of people who said, "Oh, you don't want to do that. That's very risky." Fuck me, I wouldn't get anywhere. Do you know what I mean? There's a certain, you just got to get on and do it. But yeah, this whole operation, it does scare me. Don't think it doesn't. It properly does. So these torque screwdrivers, there's a couple of people who said I should invest in one, so I did. Quite pricey though. I think that was 130, I think, off the top of my head. I'll leave it a link in the description. Everything that I've bought, or the best bits, I'll leave links in otherwise the description is going to be about a mile long. So the most important bits I'll leave in the description and links to them. But that was one of them. All right, that is us done. I've got to wear this. Second you walk in there, they are straight on it. It's just the security that's it. There's so much security. I'd love to talk about like how the security side of things, I'm not allowed to, I've been forbidden to talk about it, but like the security of how stock management works, it's so interesting. I wish I could talk about it, but I'm not allowed to. So yeah. In fact, by the time this video airs, the extra deadbolts and everything will be on this van, so you haven't actually seen that yet, but by the time you by the time you see this video, the extra bolts and everything and the upgraded alarm and stuff will be on this van, so I had to do it. But they can't fit these bolts any higher. That's the highest position they can go in, so they've got a, I don't know, they'll figure it out. But by the time you've seen this video, it'll already have been done, apparently. It's Sussex Installations, I think, are the ones who are doing it from memory, because there was a couple of people in the comments who were saying that they're the guys to use. So yeah, like I say, I'm going to leave in the description the titles for the links to all the main bits that we've got, so you can help yourself to those. Use the ITS Tom discount code, because it does make a difference. It does help me out and keep this whole fucking train rolling. Otherwise, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. I'll leave the links to Patreon, Twitter, Bebo, MySpace, and whatever other bloody social media thing I can think of in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in 1 week.